We're at Florida Supercon here at the Miami Beach Convention Center, part of the Fantasy Super Cosplay Wrestling at the FSCW Arena. One of the most famous arenas in the world.
That's right. That's right.
All right. La Diamante, Angel Rose, Priscilla, and WOW's newest member, Women of Wrestling, Adrenaline.
Right. That's right. Got a lot of aliases.
How did the WOW opportunity come up for you?
I believe it came up for me just through hard work and being acknowledged for that. I believe that David McLean, Selena Majors were shown video footage of some of my matches, and from watching my matches, they came up with this character, Adrenaline, and they had an idea for this character that they wanted to, you know, create. So they saw some of my matches and they thought, wow, this girl's a good fit for what we want and the idea that we had. So yeah, just through hard work and you know what I do in the ring, I was able to impress them.
How did they get your photo?
Tessa Blanchard, me and her are good friends, and she reached out to me and asked for me to send her a picture of myself and you know, just a small little bio and contact info. Once I did, she printed it out, put it on a board, and Selena Majors was the one who said, "That's it. That's the look, and that's the idea. That's what I had in my head. That's who I want." And David McLean, like I said, he loved me when he saw me, and when he saw me in the ring at WOW, he was blown away. I think he was pretty proud of what I've done there so far.
And they had the TV taping, so we haven't seen anything yet. So we're not going to ask you about what you did there exactly against who, exactly, until it comes out on the TV show, which actually they're going to show season 1, I believe, starting this weekend. So it'll be Saturday, because now they're moving to Saturdays.
Yes.
So Saturday, July 6th on AXS TV, which is owned by Mark Cuban, which is a huge television channel. They're going to start that, and then season 2 will kick off. Yes. When will
September 7th it airs.
And you'll be seeing Adrenaline and all the Women of Wrestling for WOW. It's really cool. It actually started with Glow many years ago with David McLean.
Yes, he was the originator. Like he's you know, he's OG. He's part of the original crew, and like you know better than me, he was brought back to this for a while. Because I think they tried doing something without him, or they were curious as opposed to what he was doing nowadays, and you know, and WOW for David is his life. Like he is so passionate, and you can and it shows from what comes off on TV and the product that he produces. He gives his everything into what he does, and you know, working for somebody like that, you want to put your best foot forward, especially when they're giving their life, their heart, their soul, their passion, sweat, blood, tears, everything. He puts everything into it. So I hold myself accountable to put my best foot forward and give him my best.
WOW is also owned by Los Angeles Lakers owner Jeannie Buss.
Yes.
What does that mean to you to work for a company where a woman is an owner of the company?
Mean, first of all, it's amazing, and it's just legendary. You know, Jeannie's a legend her own right. She's really cool.
You're a basketball fan, and I know you're a big Miami Heat fan.
You know, and just her knowledge for the game and her passion and her drive. She doesn't let anybody tell her what to do, how to do it. She's her own boss. She's got a mind of a millionaire, you know, and that's why she's so successful and where she is now. And it's an honor to work for her and just to have a woman in such a high position of power. It, you know, it gives a lot of hope for women and girls, because you know, like usually when you think of CEOs or top people, you think of men, you know, in their suits and stuff. But when you see Jeannie and she's up there with all those, you know, all those sharks in that tank, and she's quite the contender herself, so it's very inspiring.
You know, that was a good way to tie it in because AXS TV, owned by Mark Cuban, and he's also famous for Shark Tank,
Shark
which is on
Tank,
HBC.
that's
So I
right.
like the way you worked that shark in there. All right, so LeBron is with the Miami Heat. How cool is that? You know, there's a reason why I'm asking you this. So
I mean, you know, I could do without the whole decision and all the drama. I just love competitive basketball at the end of the day, and having him, first of all, a player of his caliber, I would have never thought would come to this city. You know, we had Dwayne Wade, Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Hardaway. You know, we had those guys. But when are we ever gonna see a player like LeBron James? You know, we've seen players like Michael Jordan, so iconic, and LeBron James is the icon of this, you know, generation. And just to have him in a Miami Heat uniform for 4 years, bringing us 2 championships, I mean, I honestly couldn't ask for more. I just love watching him and Dwayne Wade play, and him and Bosh. There's so many memorable moments. Like Game 6, where he missed that 3, Bosh grabbed the rebound, dished it out to Ray Allen. Ray Allen, you know, found his way to that corner, to that baseline, and just hit that shot, and it was amazing. Just having him and somebody of his stature is amazing. And Los Angeles, they're lucky to have him. When with the addition now of Anthony Davis. So, man, I cannot wait for basketball season. It's gonna be good.
oh, you got to do your own wrestling basketball podcast. That's what it should be right there.
I'm so ready for that. I can talk basketball all day. I love watching Stephen A. Smith. A poor guy, he's been crying because he's a Knicks fan. So he's been crying all week with all that news, and you know, Kyrie and KD going to the Nets, and DeAndre Jordan. I can go on all day about this stuff.
And it's so funny that LeBron was in Miami, and now he's with the Lakers, and now your boss is also LeBron's boss.
You know what? I wasn't mad. I can never be mad at LeBron. I appreciate him for the player and like the role model that he is to the world, honestly. And I was never one of those people who were angry with him when he left, because I loved him so much. I was like just very supportive. So wherever he went, I would still cheer him on. I would still watch, because I mean, he's a blast to watch on the court. So, and I think him being in the Lakers is cool for their dynasty. I'm not biased. We had our time with him, and he brought us some championships, but I think him in a Lakers uniform is really, really cool.
And you have the same boss.
Yeah, I got the same boss, so she loves him too, so it's all, it comes full circle.
I just like saying that. You have the same boss as LeBron.
It makes me feel good. Just to be in that same spectrum as him, so.
What were the TV tapings like for WoW? And have you ever experienced anything like that?
Those TV tapings were, Jim, they were so memorable. They were a blast. And I've experienced similar, because, you know, I've been at Impact. I was there for a while. I've done stuff for NXT, but WoW is just a different level of love and enthusiasm, because, man, just the whole, what I'm telling you, David McLean gives his all into everything. He's almost a perfectionist. He's got an idea of what he wants, and he knows how to execute it. You know, if it's not done in a certain way, it has to be done in the way that, you know, his vision. It's all about his vision and what he sees. And those tapings were, I'll never forget them. And I can't wait for them to air. Just the crowd. That crowd there and interacting with them, they gave, every time I stepped through those doors, they gave me that big match feel every single time. When it was from my first match at WoW to the last match I wrestled at the tapings, every match felt like big match feels. I had goosebumps all over the place, and they made me really feel like a superstar, like a real superhero. I felt like.
Where were the tapings?
They were at the Belasco in downtown Los Angeles.
And that's really cool to be in the big city like that too, to do that. What's interesting too about WoW, there's been Shimmer, there's been Shine. This is all women. on the roster. This is Wow Women's of Wrestling, and it's taken it to another level. How do you feel about that, seeing that women's wrestling and how it's been elevating all over the place, but now especially with Wow?
You know, I'm going to say this, and it's about damn time, Jim. You know, these girls put in so much work, and all we ever want is to be considered equal or not an afterthought, or, you know, just we work too. You know, we do the same training regimen. You know, we take the same bumps. We go through all the vigorous training, and we just want our respect. And you know, and it's about time. And it was great that David, what he does for WoW, he wants, you know, younger girls, younger generations to have somebody to look up to, a positive role model. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, because I would have, growing up, I looked up to wrestlers and stuff, but man, if I had somebody that I looked up to and I wanted to be like them, that would drive me, give me all the motivation to conquer the world. I would love to be that for somebody. I would love for somebody to connect with me, and you know, and on a different level, and for me to inspire them, you know, and to make them believe that anything is possible. They can do anything they put their minds to, because I did it, you know.
Like some of the women that inspired you.
Right.
You just did a session inside the FSCW arena where it was about women's wrestling, and you had some of you all talking about it and all, and you talked about some that inspired you. You recently had a match on NXT.
Yes.
And another unbelievable situation, and going out in front of that crowd, and this is the second time you've gone out in front of the crowd. What was that like? And also they used your real name, Priscilla, on the big screen. What was that opportunity like? Who did you work? Because it was on TV already, so you could talk about that.
It actually aired this week, 2 days ago on Wednesday, and I wrestled Bianca Belair, who is, man, she's talented. She is ridiculously athletic, ridiculously strong. I think she places like the highest numbers at the combine at the NXT training center every time. Her numbers are ridiculous. I think her deadlift numbers are crazy. I think she deadlifts, what, like 400 pounds or something like that?
They do every year. They've been doing it lately, where they do, like you said, they actually have, the NFL has a combine, NXT does their own combine, and they put it on the WWE Network, and she is incredible in there and all. She's very athletic. Track background, she's very athletic.
Yeah, and if anybody saw that match, she military press helped me above her shoulders and began to squat with me. So, I mean, you got to give it to her, that raw athleticism. It's so impressive. And just being there at that crowd, that Full Sail crowd is so energetic, they're so lively. And I was a familiar face there in the area, so they'd seen me before. So it was nice getting a little bit of recognition when I was there. And just from seeing a lot of my friends, a lot of my peers that I haven't seen in quite a while since they've gotten signed to NXT. It was very, very fun to be there. I really, really enjoyed my time. And I got to catch up with the trainer, Sarah Amato. It was really cool to have her welcome me back and recognize me and stuff. And it's just, I had a blast. I had a blast, and I was very fortunate and blessed to have a match. And like I said, I was fortunate just to have those eyes on me and just to show them, you know, a little bit of what I can do. Even though, you know, they've seen me before, but reminding them and staying fresh in their minds is always a good thing.
And seeing how you've grown, too.
Right, seeing how I've grown. I remember seeing pictures from the last time I was there till this week, and a lot of things have changed. I'm more of a, you know, body girl, and it's just, it's cool. It's really cool.
And the first time you were against Asuka.
Yes.
This is incredible. Did you get any feedback from Coach Sarah, Bianca, or even Triple H?
So the first time when I worked Asuka, Triple H actually came up to me immediately after the match just to check on me to make sure I was okay. And at first when he was walking over, I was like, oh man. And then he spoke to me, and his his just vibe and his energy was just so welcoming and just so open. So I was able to smile right back at him, tell him, yeah, I'm okay, you know, just doing my job here, I'm okay. But he was extremely happy with the match and how I was able to put over Asuka. And even wrestling Bianca, she thanked me, and she was actually saying that I was one of like her favorite extras to work with, or ever, really. And she put me over to a lot of people, so it was really cool just to have that like approval from her, you know, really cool.
Tell us about Queens of Combat. We're going to wrap this up. Tell us about Queens of Combat, and there's a really cool champion in Queens of Combat.
That's right.
And that's in North Carolina. So, yes, tell us who the Queens of Combat champion is and where it is and about it.
Well, yours truly, Diamante, is the Queens of Combat champion. I remember debuting for Queens of Combat back in September of 2016. And I was asked to go, and Queens of Combat had been on my list of companies to work for so long. And once I was asked, I was overjoyed. And I remember I had tickets to a Kanye West concert the day he was coming to Miami, and I got booked for Queens of Combat that day. And as much as it hurt me to sell one of my best friends those tickets, I knew deep down in my heart that if I didn't take that booking there, I don't know if or when it would be offered to me again. I don't know if I'd be in this position as a champion. And it was amazing. I've had amazing matches with Samantha Heights, with Sue Young, Shaza McKenzie, Chris Statlander, Jordan Grace, Isla Dawn, she's with WWE UK, Zaya Brookside. That company is a company that I'm very proud to represent, and I'm proud to be their champion. And I've worked my way up a long way. Like I said, I was so excited for my debut. They took a little hiatus, but once they came back, I was injured. Once I got back from injury, I had matches for just about a year, up until I wrestled at WrestleCade, where I beat Sue Young for the title, and she held that title for about 2 years. So I dethroned the Undead Bride, and it was something very, very special and memorable for me. So I'll never forget that WrestleCade weekend.
Yeah, you and Sue work well together too.
Yes.
Some of you guys have good chemistry in there, and I just think that there was karma in the works, that you were not supposed to go to the Kanye West concert, and that's why this happened.
That's right. You know, it was like passion or pleasure, passion or pleasure, and I definitely went with passion, because that's what pays off in the end.
That's what adrenaline is all about.
Right. I went for what my heart felt, and I went in the right direction. You know.
Tell us WoW again, when the new season will be premiering.
WoW Season 2 premieres September 7th on AXS TV. Check with your local cable providers. I know it's available on Roku or Sling TV, but you know, definitely check that out, because I feel like I put some of my best work into this season, and I'm very proud of it. And I really am excited for everybody to see it.
And that will be on Saturday nights. That's when it will go. And they're changing, because they used to be on Friday nights. New Japan Pro Wrestling and WoW were on Friday nights. Now they're going to be on Saturday nights. Actually, they're going to start Saturday, July 6th. But that's going to be Season 1, which is cool. You can watch that. And New Japan Pro Wrestling will be showing the G1 Climax tournament from Dallas, which is cool, because that'll be new. That'll be fresh. So it's really a great time to watch wrestling on AXS TV. And then, of course, September, so we could see Miami's own, South Florida's own Adrenaline, and always appreciate her making the time.
You're the best, Jim. Anything for you.